I'm going to start with going over the lab 3, going over some questions. And here we have like functions. So we're going to talk about functions. What is function? Function is a relation between two sets of elements, right? So you have set A, which is called domain. And you have another set, which is called range of the function. The domain is represented with X, the range is represented with Y. And whatever you do from X to Y, it's called function, and the notation is f of X. So f of X tells you you have a function, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have input value and output. The inputs are the X, so these are the input values, and the output values are the Y. Okay, so here the question number 1 is asking the set of the output, domain or a range. So the output is what?
Range.
The range, that's right. So this is input and this is the output. Okay, so that's what you're going to pick. You're going to pick the answer is the range of the function. Okay?
Yes.
So that's it. Okay. Then you're going to go to the next one, which is number 2, and it says assume the all the variables represent real numbers. We need to find if this is a function or not a function. So the given equation is y minus 5x equals 0. So if they give you equation and they're asking is that a function or not a function, we're going to look for 1x, you should have 1y. That's what you're looking for. So for one input, 1x, you should have only one variable for y. Okay, that's when you have a function. So when that doesn't happen, so if the equation have y squared, or if the equation have absolute value of y inside, is not a function. Okay?
Yes.
That's the rule. If you have something else, everything else, it's a function. Okay? Look at it that way. So y squared, an absolute value of y, is not a function. Because y squared, if let's say you want me to explain this, or you just want to take it as a rule?
I accept that as a rule.
Okay, perfect. So that way, in that way, we're going to pick is a function. We're going to pick this answer, the first one. Okay?
Yes.
So far, so good?
Good.
Okay. Going to the next one. So we're going to go to number 3 and number 4 of the next one. So here we have another, hold on, let me click. I don't need these solutions. And I don't need these marks. I don't know where this mark's coming from, but okay. So I don't need the solutions. Okay, so we're going to number, I guess this is a helpful thing. Okay, so we're going to number 3 and 4. Okay, so number 3 and 4, it's exactly what we just talked about. We have y squared minus 6x equals 1. Is that a function or not a function?
Not a function.
Not a function. Good job, because we have the y squared there, right? Okay.
Correct.
The next one, we have absolute value of y equals x. Is that a function or no?
No.
No, because we have absolute value of y. That's right. Good job. And then the last one in this page, what we have? Y minus absolute value of x equals 4. Is that a function or no?
Yes, because it's x and not y.
Yes, perfect, because you have absolute value of x, not y. So it's a function. Okay? So that's what you're going to get. Not a function, and function. I'm going to submit that in the end, and you're going to check it if it's right or wrong. Okay? So this is what you have so far. And then the next part here, we're going to have given function, and you're going to find the domain of function. So the next 3 questions, they're talking about domain. Okay? So when you're talking about the domain, all these three questions about the domain. So finding the domain of function domain is x, right? So finding the domain means what x can be, okay? So x can be only all real numbers, so there are restrictions in x. We have to see that from the function. So what you need to do, you need to look at the equation. So f of x equals, f of x is the notation. You have notation, tells you have a function. And then after the equal sign is your actual function. So the next one is square root, and the next one is a fraction. So when you find the domain, you need to look for two things. You need to look for square root and fraction. These are the only things you have restrictions. So if you have function given, and if there is no fraction, no square root, means no restriction. So the first one have no restrictions, right?
Correct.
And the other one have restrictions. The other two have restrictions. Okay?
Correct.
So if you have no restriction, then the domain is going to be negative infinity, infinity. So x can be anything from minus infinity to infinity. Because look at your number line. So this is your x. And the number line, if you have no restriction, continue from negative infinity to positive infinity. It's everything. Okay? So that's going to be the domain. Now, when you put the domain, when you enter it here, when you click, you're going to see that map path in the side. And you can just put, or you can just use sets. And it's going to give you parentheses. And then you're going to put minus, and then symbols have the infinity symbol. You're going to press on that, comma, infinity again. So that's what you need to enter there. Minus infinity, infinity.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yes.
So in the map path, you're going to use sets. When you click at that tab where it says sets, you're going to see all these different parentheses, brackets, all these different interval notations. We're going to pick one of those. For the other examples, you're going to pick different one. And when you go to symbols, you're going to see the infinity symbol is there. Because the infinity is not in the keyboard, so you have to enter it from there. Okay? So that's how you do the first one, number 6. Then the other two domains, there are restrictions for square root, and there is a restriction for fraction. So when you have square root, this is what you're doing. Everything inside the square root has to be positive, because the restriction comes from taking square root of negative number. So if you try to take square root of negative, so everything here inside the square root have to be positive. Because if you try to take square root of negative, it's going to give you error, domain error, right? Like if you try in the calculator, you want me to show you, or you got the idea?
I got the idea.
Okay, so square root of negative is not real, so the restriction is going to be everything inside, which is 4x plus 7, just copy that, has to be greater or equal to 0. This is the restriction, have to be positive number. And then you're going to solve it the way you solve in linear equations. So you're going to subtract 7 in both sides, minus 7. This cancels, so you're going to have 4x greater or equal to negative 7. And then you're going to divide both sides by 4. It's like the way you solve in linear equation. So you're going to get x by itself. Let me get that. Okay? So divide by 4. And this is your domain. X has to be greater or equal to negative 7 over 4. So how that looks in the number line? You have number line. You have negative 7 over 4 somewhere, right? And x is bigger, so that means x is in the right side, because the numbers bigger are in the right side of the number. Okay? So this is how you have it. Now, because you have greater or equal, it could be 0. The number negative 7 over 4 have to be with bracket. And then going to the positive way of the number line, you're going to infinity. And infinity and negative infinity, you always use parentheses. So this is how you're going to enter your domain. So when I go to my answer box. So I'm gonna, hold on. So I'm gonna click inside, I'm gonna see the MathPath in the side. And then when I go to sets, I'm gonna use bracket and parentheses, this one, this combination. And then I'm gonna put negative. You can do 7 divided by 4. You can do it like that. And then you're gonna do comma, insert the infinity symbol. Okay, like that.
Okay.
So that's how you enter your answer. Bracket, number, comma, infinity.
Mhm.
Okay, we're good?
Good.
Okay, then we're going to go to the next restriction, which is fraction. So when you have fraction, the restriction for fraction comes from the denominator. So here we need to take everything in the bottom, and it have to be not equal 0, because fraction is division. And when you divide two numbers, the only restriction you have, the bottom, what you're dividing by, cannot be 0. So the restriction here is x minus 2, whatever is in the bottom, not
Mhm.
equal 0. Cannot be 0. Because if you divide 5 divided by 0, it's going to tell you undefined. You can't divide by 0. Okay? That's why you have
Okay.
this restriction. And then you're just solving it the same way. You're going to add 2 in both sides to get x by itself. And this cancels, so you're going to have x not equal 2. And this is your domain. The domain is x could be anything but 2, right? Everything else but 2. So this is how you're going to write it with interval notation, because that's what it says. So let's say 2 is here in the number line. So x is not 2 means x could be smaller than 2 or bigger than 2, right? So that means x is from negative infinity, and of course infinity is parentheses, but you have to exclude 2, so you're going to have parentheses and parentheses. So the difference between parentheses and bracket is when you have parentheses, you don't include that number. So x could be 1.9999999, but not 2, okay? And the same
Okay.
could be 2.00001, but not 2. So parentheses, you don't include the number. Bracket, you include that number. Okay? So that's how you write. Here you're going to have two intervals of the domain. It's going to be from negative infinity to 2, and also from 2 to infinity. And in math, you're using this symbol to connect both the intervals. Union. Union means also. The first interval and also the second interval is the domain. So this is how you're going to plug the answer. So I'm going to go to the answer box. And I'm going to move it up so I can see the answer box. The MathPath. So the MathPath I'm using, I'm going to go to sets. I'm going to do parentheses. I'm going to put negative, the infinity symbol, comma 2. And then after the close the parentheses, I'm going to go to sets. And that's where you have the unity, U. Okay, that symbol you're going to use. It's not the letter U in the keyboard, it's union. And then you're going to do another 2 to infinity. Okay, and then close the parentheses. So that's how you're going to answer your domain for number 8. Okay, you got it?
Good.
You good? Okay, so far so good?
Yes.
Okay, no questions?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, it's coming, right? Okay,
Yes.
so here we have the next one, the next two. We're going to go over the next two. The next two questions are evaluating functions. So here they give me function f of x, and what we need to do is we need to plug numbers for x. That's all what you're doing. So this is my function f. So after the equal is the function, and the other function looks like a fraction, but whatever it is, you're just gonna follow the function, okay? Follow the equation of the function. So now what I need to do the first one, I need to find f of 3, okay? So instead, in the place of x, I have to put 3. That's all what you're doing. So you're going to copy the function given. So the function is 5x plus 7. Just like that.
Mhm.
Okay? And then instead of x, you're going to replace the x with 3, right? And you're just
Yes.
going to simplify that. So we're going to do 5 times 3, 15, right?
15 plus
Plus
7.
7. And here actually you can use, I mean, you can add, this is easy, but if it's more complicated, you can use calculator. Do you have a calculator you can use, or I can show
Yes.
later on? Later on, I can show another one. Okay, so I mean, just adding these two numbers is 22, right?
Yes.
So that's my answer. The answer for this one, for the first one, is 22. Then I'm going to do the next one the same way. So I'm going to do 5. I'm going to follow in the same function. I'm going to put x here plus 7. And the x for the next one is going to be negative 4, right?
Right.
And then I'm going to do the math. So what is 5 times negative 4 is negative 20 plus 7. So it's going to be a negative number because the negative is bigger. And I'm going to subtract, find the difference between 20 and 7 is 14. Okay? So my second answer here is negative 14. Okay? Then the next, good so far? The next one is easier than this, because in the next one, we're just going to copy the function, and whatever you see x, you're going to put k. So it's going to be 5k plus 7. And that's your answer. There's nothing to do because you don't have numbers to simplify. You're just going to put it like that. We're going to write 5. We're going to press k in the keyboard plus 7. That's it.
Good. Good.
We're good so far? Okay. And then the next one, you're doing the same, but we're going to simplify a little bit. So the next one, we're going to plug it in k squared minus 1 in the place of x. So we're doing the same. 5, we're going to plug it in something, plus 7. Okay, so what you plug it in? Everything it says there. We're going to plug it in k squared minus 1. We're going to keep it like that. And then here, what you can simplify, you can multiply 5 times k squared, 5 times negative 1. So when I do that, I'm going to get 5k squared. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5 plus 7. Now, can you simplify something here?
No.
Yes, you can. You can do the numbers. You can add the numbers. I mean, yes, you're going to keep 5k squared. You're keeping that.
Yes.
But you can do 7 minus 5, which is 2. So that's what they say simplify.
Good.
That's it. And now when you enter this answer, you're just going to do 5k, and then you're going to press this for the square in the operations. You're going to put square, and then you need to get down of the exponent, and then you do plus 2. Okay? So that's how you enter the answer for this one.
Good. Good.
Okay, so far so good?
So far, so good.
Okay, so the next one, you're going to do the same. But you're not going to follow 5x plus 7. You're going to follow the given function down here. And the given function is 3 over x minus 5. So that's the function we're going to follow. And we're just doing the same. We're going to replace x with 2 first. So it's going to be 3 over 2 minus 5, right? You replace x with 2. And then you simplify if you can. So, I mean, you can do the numbers in the bottom. So it's 3 over, now 2
Negative.
minus 5 is negative 3. And when you divide 3 divided by 3 is 1, and that negative is going to be negative 1. So the first answer should be negative 1. Okay?
Good. Good.
So far? Okay. Then you're going to the next one, which is replacing x with minus 7. So we have 3 over minus 7 is my x minus 5. So I'm going to keep 3 in the top, and in the bottom I'm going to combine minus 7 minus 5 is negative 12. And then you can reduce that. You can divide by 3 up and down. So it's 1 over 4 negative, right? So that's what you're going to put. Negative 1 over 4.
All right.
Okay? And then the next one is just replace x with k. So I'm just going to put fraction first. 3 in the top. And then k minus 5. Just follow the same function, the same format. Fraction. Just in the place of x, you're going to put k. Because that's what it says here. It says k, not x. Okay?
Yes.
And then we have one more the same way. So I'm going to replace x. So you have 3 over. Now in the place of x, I'm going to put k squared minus 1 and then minus 5. So now, is there something we can simplify?
Yes, we can combine the 1 and the 5.
Yes, good job. So I'm going to combine 1 and 5. So it's going to be 3 over. I'm going to copy k squared. And what is minus 1 minus 5?
Minus 6.
Perfect, see? Who say you're bad at math? You're good at math. See what you're doing. Okay, so
Yeah, you weren't there the other day when I was just square block round hole.
well, I wasn't there that day. So I don't remember, but you got it now. Okay, that's what matters, right? Okay.
Yes.
Everything good so far?
Good.
Any questions?
No, not yet.
Okay. Then you're going to go to the next one. Okay, the next one I'm going to give you shortcut. The next 3. I'm going to do the next 3. Okay, I'm going to give you shortcut for this one. Okay, with different quotient, there's a big formula for that. Okay, but I'm going to give you shortcut. So the shortcut is different quotient. This is linear function, right? mx plus b. So different quotient for linear function is the slope. So linear quotient and slope means the same. So looking at my function, can you tell me what is the slope?
It should be 5.
Good job. The number in front of x. That's it. The slope is 5. And that's your answer. You don't do anything. You don't do formula here.
All right.
That's all. So the different quotient is the slope, and the slope is the number in front of x. Okay, that's it. Okay,
All right.
the next one, it's about changing Fahrenheit to Celsius, right? And this is the formula. This is how you, this is how you're gonna change it, right? They give you the formula. So if they give you 0 degrees, you're gonna replace C with 0. You're gonna see what you get. When you replace C with negative 4, you're gonna see what you're gonna get. And replace C with 10, and you're gonna get the other answer. Okay, so just plug it in C, the Celsius. So if I want to do the first one, it's going to be 9 over 5. So just exactly what we did before, plug it in, evaluating. Then C is 0 plus 32. So number times 0 is 0, so the answer is 32, right?
Yes.
Then the other one, we need to replace C with negative 40. So it's going to be 9 over 5, negative 40 plus 32. And you can reduce 5 and negative 40 is going to be 8. So 9 times 8 is negative 72 plus 32 is going to be negative 4. Right?
I guess.
I guess, yeah, I was like the same way. Well, yes, 9 times 8 is 72. And 72 minus 32 is also 4. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's okay, whatever you get, right? Minus 40. Just follow the formula. Okay? And then we have 10. So we're going to plug it in 10 again, the same way. So it's going to be, let's do 10. So 9 over 5. You have different numbers, so you do the same way. Plus 32. And again, you can reduce 10 and 5. It's 2. 2 times 9 is 18. Plus 32. When you add those two, it's going to be, they're positive, so you add in them. So it's going to be 50 degrees. Yes?
Yes.
So that's it.
Good. Good.
Fine. Okay.
Understand.
And then I'm going to go to the next 14. These are word problems, and then the rest of it, I'm going to just double check because we have like 30 minutes left. Is there something specific you want to go over, or you want me to?
I think that actually really cleared things up. Would you be okay with looking over the
Yes, if you,
midterm review?
yes, if you have specific something, like here, if you have f and g, you do the same, but for function f and function g. Is that helps?
Yes.
Like if I want to do 15, I have f, I have g, so I'm going to copy f minus copy g. And then
Correct.
simplify if you can. Okay? And then finding the domain is exactly how you find domain in general. Okay?
On those,
Yes.
I think it has a possibility of being impossible or what have you. When would it be impossible?
Okay, this could be impossible when if you plug a number and you get 0 in the bottom. Okay, so for example, if I have, let's see f over g, if I have f over, this one. For number 21, for example, if I do f over g, so this is what you have. F divided by g, and I plug it in 0. So that means I'm going to copy f in the top, and I'm going to copy g in the bottom. So f is x squared minus 3, and g is 3x minus 4, right? So I need to replace x with 0 because that's what I have in parentheses. So when I plug it in 0 here and 0 here, I need to simplify this. And if it's happened to be 0 in the bottom, if I simplify this and you get 0, it's impossible division by 0, right? So that's why it could be impossible. But in this case, you can simplify it because this is 0, so it's negative 3 over. This is 0, negative 4, so it's 3 over 4. So it's okay, you can do it. But only if you divide by 0, it's impossible. Okay?
Okay. Makes sense.
Makes sense? Okay. So pretty much the rest of it is like this: function f, function g, and finding the vertex. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you want to go to the, let's go to the review. I'm going to open the midterm review. And let's see what you get there. Okay, so the review has few questions, 45. Which one you want me to go over?
This starter stuff shouldn't be much of an issue.
So finding the restrictions here, like number 3, 4, is the same like finding the domain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we,
Mhm.
oh, okay. Yeah, number 8 looks
8.
really weird.
Okay, let's do
Yes.
8. Yes. Okay, so number 8 is solving the equation. So we're going to solve this equation by doing the parentheses first. Okay? So when you
All
solve
right.
the equation, you're going to start with the parentheses. So we're going to multiply x times x and x times 8. So what is x times 8? X. That's x squared, right? X times 8
Yes.
is plus 8x. And then equals. Now, in the other side, I have to multiply x plus 4 times x plus 4 because square means multiply 2 times by itself. So, do you know how to FOIL? FOIL?
No.
Okay. So, FOIL means distributing pretty much. You're multiplying. F stands for first and first. So, that's your F. So, multiplying x times x, which is x squared, right? Then
Yes.
O stands for the outside. So, you're multiplying these two, the outside. So, x times 4 is 4x. Okay? Then I stands for the insides. These are the two inside terms. So 4 times x is another 4x. And then L stands from the last. Last in these parentheses and last in these parentheses. So multiplying 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? So that's how you simplify it. And then from here we can combine 4x plus 4x is 8x. So it's gonna be 8x. So when I multiply x plus 4, I'm gonna write it here, x squared plus 8x plus 16, right? So this is how my equation looks like after I do the parentheses. Yes? You want to go over the FOIL again, or?
Yes, like,
Yes,
do
so this is
you,
what you're doing. Yeah. I'll
mine
write
is
it.
a little different, but,
Yeah, I mean, it's still
how do
x
you,
plus number, right?
yes,
Okay, so this is, I'm going to write it for you. F is x times x. First and first. O is the outside, x times 4. Then I is the inside, 4 times x. Oops, sorry, it's disappearing. 4 times x. And L stands for the last two, 4 times 4. Okay, if you have different numbers, you still have two terms, right? So this is one term. Oops, I'm moving that. This is one term, this is another. And the second parenthesis also have one term, another term. I mean, obviously the number goes with the sign. So if it's positive 4, it's going to be plus 4. If it's minus, it's going to be minus. Okay?
so because of the square,
Yes.
you turn that 1 into 2 and
Yes. Yes.
distribute the 4, okay.
That's right. You're doing the 2 because square means like 2 square is 2 times 2, right? Multiplying
Yeah,
the base 2 times by itself. So that's why you're multiplying 2x plus 4 times x plus 4. If it's cubed, it's going to be x plus 4 times x plus 4 times x plus 4, 3 times by itself. Okay?
all right.
Okay, so that's how you get, this is how the equation looks like, right? Now from here, we're going to get x's in the same side, numbers in the other side, right? So I'm going to subtract x squared here and subtract x squared on the other side. And obviously the x squared is going to cancel out, right? And I can also
Yes,
subtract 8x and 8x in both sides. And obviously they're going to cancel out in both sides too. So let's see what is left.
16.
16. And what is left in the other side?
Nothing.
Nothing, that's right.
X.
That's right. No, nothing is left. Everything cancels. So if nothing is left, what is the number for nothing?
It's its own symbol, right? Like a 0 with a line through it.
No, it's just 0.
Oh,
The number is 0, yes. It's not empty set. It's a 0, nothing left. Because you're working with numbers here and x's, right? So it's 0. There's nothing left. 0 equals 16. So that's what is, the equation becomes 0 equals 16. Is 0 equals 16? Is that true?
no.
No, this is not true. So that means the equation have no solution. It's not true. This statement 0 equals 16 is not true. So that means you have no solution. The equation have no solution. And that's what you need to enter. Enter no solution. Okay?
Like x equals no solution.
Yes, that's what you're going to put there. No solution. Make sure you spell it correct.
And then that would make it a contradiction.
Yep, perfect. Good job. It's a contradiction. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Love it.
Questions on this? Are you good?
No, that cleared it right up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so what else we can go over?
Mm. Just gonna do there. How about 11?
11?
That fraction doesn't look too good.
Okay, let's do fractions. Okay, so we do number 11, right? We have to solve this equation, okay?
Hmm.
And usually you say you don't like fractions, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if you don't like fractions, we're gonna get rid of them, okay? And this is how you're gonna get rid of fractions. We can multiply by the denominator. What is the denominator? 5, right? Yes? Denominator is 5. So if the denominator is 5, I'm going to multiply by 5 both sides. So when I multiply by 5, I'm going to cancel the denominators and no more fractions. Okay? So I'm multiplying this side by 5 and the other side by 5. Okay?
Okay.
And this is what happened. I'm going to multiply 5 times this, 5 times this, right? Because there are two terms in the left side. So I'm multiplying 5 times 6 over 5 y plus 5 times 18 equals negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. Okay? Then this 5 is technically 5 over 1, so you cancel 5 up, 5 down, so no more fractions.
Mm-hmm.
So we have left with 6y plus, we need to multiply what is 5 times 18 is 90 equals negative 30. And then, do you know how to solve this?
It would be, you would want to subtract 90
Yeah,
and then divide them both by 6.
absolutely, yes. That's right. Subtract 90, so we get 6y equals negative 120, right? And then we multiply both sides by 6. And that's going to give me what is y equals? Negative 20. So that's my answer.
Negative.
Yeah,
All right.
okay, that's it.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
Let me see.
Let's see what else. We have like 15 more minutes.
Well, the foil really helped me out.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so here we have 16. And 16 is about another equation which have fractions. We know that we don't like fractions, right? So in order to get rid of the fractions, I'm going to multiply both sides by, what is the denominator?
X.
X, so multiplying by x, both sides. Okay? So now when I multiply x down and x up cancel, oops, I moved that. Okay, so x is cancelled. So what is left?
Yeah.
X times x, I can multiply also, right? X times x is x squared.
X squared.
Yes, and then x times negative 8 is negative 8x. And then that equals
9.
9. Good job. And then we have equation with x squared, right? So we have to solve it by methods for solving quadratic equation. It's not linear, okay? So how you solve quadratic? Do you use the quadratic formula or using factoring? How you solving it?
I guess the quadratic formula.
Okay, so if you want to do the quadratic formula, first you have to move the 9 over. So I'm going to do minus 9 in both sides because you have to be equal 0 before I start with the formula, right? So I have x squared minus 8x minus 9 equals 0. And then I'm going to start with ABC. So what is A?
1.
1, that's right. What is B?
Negative 8.
Yes, good job, negative 8. And C is?
-9.
-9, that's it. So now we're going to plug it into the formula. So the formula is negative, I'm going to write it here for you, negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac everything over 2a. That's the formula. So we're going to start plugging in the numbers. So we have negative b is going to be down, plus minus. Then you have b squared minus 4a and c and everything over 2a. And then I'm going to get the numbers in. So I have negative b was -8. And then b again, 4ac. And then 2a, right? So this is what I have so far. And then you're going to simplify. So I can do the square root, or let's do minus minus is plus 8. 2 negative gives me positive. Plus or minus. Now let's do the square root. And this is over 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So I have -8 squared, that's 64, right? And then -4 times 1 is -4 times -9 is plus 36, yes? So 1 adds
Yes.
64 and it's going to be 100, right? Now, what is square root of 100? It's 10,
10.
right? Okay. So the square root, when I simplify it, I'm going to get 10. And then from here, I need to do plus, and I have to do minus also. So what is 8 plus 10 divided by 2? So 8 plus 10 is 18, divided by 2 is 9, right?
Yes.
And the other one is 8 minus 10 over 2. So that's -2 over 2, which is -1. Okay, so that's my two answers. We're going to have two answers, and it says enter your answer as comma separate list. So we're going to plug it in -1, comma 9, like that. Oh, comma, not comma.
Is there a way to tell the difference, like which one
No.
goes where?
No, doesn't matter. In this case, doesn't matter. It doesn't say. Sometimes they ask
Okay.
for smaller number and bigger number, but in this case, doesn't matter. You can put 9 comma -1, doesn't matter.
All right.
Okay, you got it?
Got it.
Okay, so that's how you do this one. And then what else? We have probably time for one more. You want 17 or something else?
Yeah, let's do 17.
17, okay.
Those
The fractions, yeah.
different numbers.
Yeah. So this one is going to be the same way. We're going to multiply by the denominator. So now one of the denominator is x squared, the other one is x. So what do you think we're going to multiply?
X squared.
Yes, we're going to multiply by x squared because in that way you're going to cancel everything. That's the goal. You want to cancel all the denominators. So I'm going to multiply by x squared. So that's going to give me, here we're going to distribute both of those by x squared, right? So I'm going to rewrite it so it's x squared times 49 over x squared plus x squared times 7 over x equals 72x squared. And then we're going to cancel x squared and x squared. Then here x squared means x times x, so 1x cancel with the bottom. We're still going to have 1x left, okay? And let's see what is left. We have 49 plus 7x equals 72x squared. And then this is quadratic, so I have to move everything in the same side. So you can subtract 7x. And you can also subtract 49 to b equals 0. So the equation becomes 72x squared minus 7x minus 49 equals 0. And then you can use the formula to solve it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, you want to finish or you got it? You do A, B, C, and the same way. Do you want to finish this or you want to go another one? Can you hear me? Something going on with my internet. Okay. So that's what we have. Any questions? Okay. So that's for today, I guess. And have a good day and good luck with your math. Can you hear me? Hello? Something going on with my connection, I guess. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Okay, I
can hear
guess
you.
something going on with my connection. So